bookaholics, welcome to another video. So today I'm doing my best and worst book to film adaptations. Now, I've been watching book to movie adaptations for a while, and there's some that I absolutely love that is just so fantastic and they did so well with making it, and there's some that is just awful and so bad and it's just such a disappointment. So I want to talk about some of these very, very fantastic ones and the very, very disappointing ones. Let's just get started. The first one I'm going to be talking about is the adaptation of the Duff into a movie. So this one was actually done super well, not in case of like storyline being transferred really well, because the storyline was changed so much. Like, it is pretty much just a different movie. Like, it's not really this, it's just the idea and the same characters. Now, I understand why, because it is for like a young teen audience and maybe some older teens. That's the kind of market they were going towards. So I understand why they changed it, because the Duff is about two characters, Bianca and Wes. Now, Bianca and Wes get into like a enemies with benefits kind of deal. So it wouldn't have been a family appropriate kind of movie if they did everything the same way in this one. I actually really love the movie because it was just very, very good. Like, they did such a well job of having the same idea in a different kind of storyline. It's kind of like a makeover kind of movie. Well, this one was definitely not a makeover kind of book, but the movie was, and I just really loved it. I'm just one of those people who just love the kind of corny, cliche chick flicks. I just love them. I love the book. Like, the book is better. Like, I love the book so much more, but I still found the movie to be very good. That's why I bought it. The second one that was a book to movie adaptation that I didn't really care for was The Host into The Host. I loved this book so much. Like, I read it in the same time that I read Twilight. Twilight, I liked it when I read it the first time, and like when I started getting obsessed with it. Then I read this one. It just blew me away. Like, it was so amazing. I loved it so much. There's so much information in here. Like, Stephenie Meyer, for being the author of Twilight, did such a good job on this book. It is so in-depth. Like, it's so good. Like, oh my god, I loved it so much. It's one of my favorite books. Then the movie came out, and I was excited for it. I was really excited to see where they would take it and how they would adapt it and what they would keep and what they would take out. Because I know this is a freaking long book. Like, it is, what? About like 620 pages. It's a lot of information to get in the first movie. I know they would have to make the movie into one movie. Like, they wouldn't have been able to make it into two parts. Like, they could have, but I don't know if they would have had the opportunity to actually make the movie if they presented it like that. Because who knows if the first movie would do well and then they don't have the finished thing. There's just so much information in this book, you can't cram it into 2 hours and 5 minutes. You can't cram 620 pages into 2 hours. You just can't. I was very disappointed in this movie. Next one, The Fault in Our Stars by John Green into a movie. Now, I absolutely loved the book, and I absolutely loved the movie. I'm not too sure if I cried more in the movie than in the book, or if it was the other way around, because I don't really remember how I reacted in the book when I was reading it, but I know I bawled in the movie. So good. They followed the book so well, and I just loved it. I loved the acting. Shailene Woodley and Ansel Elgort, they played their characters so well. I just loved it so much, and it was just so well done. And this is probably one of my favorite book to movie adaptations. Now, the next one, another book to movie adaptation, The Vampire Academy. I loved the book. The series was so fun. I really enjoyed reading it when I was in high school. It was one of my favorite series. I kind of was excited to watch The Vampire Academy. Like, I remember watching the first trailer of it, and I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be shit. Because they made it into like a mean girl thing, and I did not want that. Like, I kind of understand why they decided to do that, because it's kind of like teen and it's academy and it's vampire. I can kind of understand why they went in that route, but I really wish they didn't, because The book, like, yes, it has its funny moments, but it's not a comedic series. It's not. I wish they didn't make it into a comedic movie. I think it could have been a lot better if they made it a little more serious and made it a little not so comedic, because honestly, I bought this. Like, I didn't go see this movie in theaters because I was like, that's not worth it. But when it came out on DVD, I was like, okay, let's give it a try. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe it is gonna be fantastic. I'm gonna love it. Bought it. I watched it. I couldn't even finish it. It was just awful. The acting was awful. The writing was awful. Like, they didn't do well with it at all, in my opinion. And I could not even finish the movie. Like, I stopped it. I was like, okay, let's just see how this ends, and I'm done. Went to the end. Freaking ending was awful, and I was like, okay, this is my absolute worst book to movie adaptation. Awful, 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 awful. So the next one, now this one has been adapted in 2 different mediums. Mortal Instruments, City of Bones. I absolutely love the Mortal Instruments series, and the Infernal Devices series, and the Dark Artifices series. The first adaptation, the movie, big disappointment. The beginning, I actually really liked how they started the movie. I really did. Then they changed stuff. They had to change stuff. They changed how it ends. I don't even know how they would have continued, because an important ending plot line, which I won't give away, they completely changed. So I have no idea what they would do with the certain thing that a certain villain has in the second book. How would they have continued it? I don't know. Did not like the Valentine character because he was not a father. Valentine is bad. Like, he's a bad guy, but he's also not inhuman. Like, he's not like completely psychopath. Like, yes, he's a psychopath, but he still cares for his son, at least. In the movie, he doesn't. He just doesn't. And it angered me. Angered me so much. They could have done so much better, and they just failed. Now, the TV series. Sometimes I really do enjoy it. It has its entertaining moments. Like, there are some episodes that I absolutely love. There are some episodes that I just don't really care for. There are some episodes that are okay. They have some decent content that is better than the movie. It has its own kind of standing point because they went off the plot line so much, but they still have some kind of footing that I find entertaining. So it's okay. It's definitely not my favorite, but it's also not my worst. The TV series is decent. I'm not even sure that's a strong word. Oh. Kitty! Oh my god! What are you doing? Get out of here. Come on. You're a cutie. This cat is funny. Oh, okay, I'll let you go. Okay. Where was I? It's a decent adaptation, which might be a stronger word than I'm willing to actually give, but I can't think of any other words. So the next one, The Hunger Games 2 movie. They did such a good job with this one. Like, oh my god, I loved it so much. It's one of my favorites. It is definitely one of my favorite book to movie adaptations because they followed the book very well, and if they did take some stuff out and put stuff in, it wasn't horribly done. It was very flawless. I really enjoyed it. Like, if they took something out, it wasn't like a big significant thing that would change the course of the whole series. Like, in book form, there's certain things that only the book can do, and in movie form, there's only certain things that a movie could do. So, like, they had to change some stuff for that, which is understandable. The only thing that could have changed is not have such a shaky camera, but that was just in certain parts. So, other than that, it was a very, very well done movie that had very, very good acting. Now, that same kind of line, Catching Fire. They do such a well job that it follows the book, and it's understandable, and it doesn't, like, throw you with a bunch of information. It just, you understand what's going on. The whole movie series, like the whole adaptation of the series was so well done. It was so good. My absolute favorite. Now the next one, if you haven't guessed already, Mockingjay. Now Mockingjay is my least favorite book of the series, and as well as the movie, but it's still well done. Like, honestly, I think I like the movie better than the book because, I don't know, like, I read Mockingjay a while ago and it just didn't leave a lasting impression as the other books did. I feel like I might have liked this better just because it wasn't completely just like boring. Like, this one's not necessarily boring, but it just wasn't up to the same standard I had in Hunger Games and Catching Fire. I really did enjoy the movie, and it really did kind of follow the book as what I remember happening in the book. And yeah, I still really enjoyed it. Next one, Divergent by Veronica Roth. Now, I actually did like the book to movie adaptation. I did like the first movie. I was able to enjoy it. I actually really liked it. It came out around the same time that Hunger Games was still going. They wanted to make some money, so they decided to use the next one that was a dystopian that had a similar kind of survival kind of idea, and they went with Divergent, and they did a really good job with the first movie. I really actually enjoyed it. I didn't even buy the second movie because the second movie is awful. Oh my god, the adaptation of Insurgent was awful. Oh my freaking god. I haven't even watched the third movie. Like, I haven't, because I just didn't really care for the second movie at all. I just have no desire to watch the third movie, and I don't even know what's happening with part 2. Honestly, I have no idea if they're even coming out with part 2 anymore. They decided it wasn't going to go to theaters. It was just going to go straight to TV, and I have no idea if it has done that yet. So, Insurgent, very bad adaptation. The last one, this one, I have kind of mixed feelings towards, because Twilight. If you have been watching my channel, you know that Twilight is what got me into reading. What got me into actually reading the Twilight series was the movie. Very first movie is what got me into reading Twilight, which got me into reading the whole series, which got me into reading more stuff. So I do have mixed feelings towards this movie. I'm really happy that I watched it and I loved it and that it motivated me to get the first book. But I cannot watch this movie ever again. It's just, I don't care for the books anymore. Like, I have mixed feelings towards the book too, because that's what got me into reading, and I really appreciate them for that. But I would have to force myself to watch this entire movie, to watch this entire series now. I have every single movie, and I know I liked it when I watched it the first time just to see how they would do with it. Now I tried watching this movie. I really did. I was like, okay, let's just try it. Let's see if maybe I have different feelings about it now. I watched it. 15 minutes in, I stopped. I just physically cannot watch this movie anymore. And I probably would have a very hard time rereading these books. The movies, they potentially got a little better, maybe. And I'm kind of over it, but I keep the movies for sentimental value, I guess. I have mixed feelings. I care for them, but at the same time I don't, because I don't really want to watch them, but I appreciate them for helping me get into reading. So yeah, that is it for my video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed my best and worst adaptation video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Comment down below all your favorite adaptation and some of your worst adaptation. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Check out my other social media accounts on my Facebook, Twitter, and Goodreads. I make a video every Thursday, and I'll see you guys next video. Bye!